So welcome to Exit Realty Achieve here in Smithtown. We were founded in 2010, probably the worst real estate market ever, and we grew beautifully by serving our agents. Let me show you around. At Exit Realty Achieve, as John knows, we are all about lifting people up, right? So we're always talking about self-growth. We're always intertwining it within the live trainings that we host. So this is an open workstation for the agents, so they can come here, they can grab their paperwork packages, they could go out on the streets, they could pull up phone numbers and leads and prospects and hit the street running and get done whatever they have to get done. So it's a service center for them. And then we also have some of the top producing agents' private offices. So there's a certain criteria to be able to acquire that, and they're so proud when they do. It's absolutely an achievement. So this was the first expansion. Again, I do believe, I said 2004, I do believe it was 2014, about 4 years after the office had opened. I showed up in 2015 here. I was a realtor with Century 21 for almost 10 years. And one of the agents that I helped train called me after he left and was like, Jeff, I found a company that you fit into, right? They're completely collaborative. Everybody reminds me of you. And I was like, no, that's impossible. But we found Exit Realty, so that was awesome. Then we have a little kitchen area. It's just kind of small and quaint and tidy. We do a lot of food here. You know, we know that if we feed our agents, they will certainly come. And then this is the meeting room.
This is where the magic happens.
This is where the magic happens, yes. So I would say 2 or 3 days a week, this room is completely full and energized. And we are learning, we are always growing, we are introducing new agents to the organization at all times. And we are extremely collaborative. And I think that's really what sets us apart. Not only are we collaborative amongst the agents within the office, but the brokers are collaborative across borders and different franchises. And we are also collaborative across state borders, as well as we are a Canadian-based company that does business in the US. And you know what, like if John and I both know something and we share it, now we both know 2 somethings. There's something magical about that, so that's what we're all about.
And you can see the buy-in from your agents. I would say on average anywhere between 30 to 50 participants for every meeting that Jeff hosts, and it really is engaging and uplifting. What kind of activity you got going on this weekend?
So this weekend, I think we're hosting, myself or the agents, we're hosting about 8 open houses. Every once in a while, I like to surprise the agents at the open house. During the winter, I was bringing hot chocolates, and I like to see the excitement and the activity. I want to keep my thumb on the pulse of the market.
So how has the activity been at the open houses? What are you seeing?
You know what? I will tell you that, well, first of all, I have certain fundamental beliefs. I believe that if you position a home right in any market, it will get extreme activity. Last 2.5 years, you know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that every home had tons of activity. Everybody's a rock star, right? But it's so super important to really know your numbers, how to position a home, how to flood it with people to optimize the sale price and work in the best interest of the seller when you're a listing agent, right? So the activity recently of open houses is still extremely strong.
So what would you say to somebody that is looking to potentially sell, but doesn't know whether they should list now because the inventory is a challenge? So it's like kind of putting the cart before the horse. I know that's always the dilemma with people.
Well, the reality is I fundamentally believe that you have to meet people's needs where they are, right? So we teach our agents, like, you're not trying to convince somebody to sell. You're not trying to convince somebody to buy. You want to show them the pros and the cons and then help them make the best choice for themselves.
Can you talk a little bit about the exit model and how it's different from other brokers?
Yeah, so the exit model is probably the most misunderstood thing in real estate, in my opinion. Prior to me getting here, I learned that we were always mistaken for an MLM, like the multi-level marketing organization where there's like a downline and you don't know these people and it's very, unbecoming and not personal. And Exit Realty was always fighting that, right? Because we do have a residual model which creates extreme wealth for our agents. So we are heavy on the commissions. We are heavy on the support. Like we have 3 full-time administrators here, and their main role, as they know, is to serve the agent's needs, right? Like, so we're not a ghost town here. You know what I mean? Like we are all in, all in. So Exit is different because it's an invite-only system. It's been that way since day one, and since day one, it's been focused around the person and not the profit. So Steve Morris took the manager out of that, and he said, well, the business owner is going to be there, and we're going to allow the ability for the agents to grow the organization organically, which is why you don't see us out there going, we want to have the most agents. We don't want to have the most agents. We believe in quality over quantity, and that's been for 26 years now, way before I got here. Right. So, so with the residual model, which goes into retirement and then a death beneficiary, if an agent introduces another person to the Exit network, any exit office in North America, not just Exit Realty Achieve, corporate, from the broker side of the commission, rewards them the equivalent of 10% of that person's gross income, up to $10,000 a year. So it's real money. So if I introduce 2 people to the company and they both do $50,000 gross, that's an extra $10,000 a year in my pocket for really just making an introduction. The agent's not doing the hiring, the broker does the hiring, that's quality control. The agent just does the introduction, we call it sponsoring.
So Jeff, in this market, obviously we're getting a tremendous amount of offers. How do you educate your agents and how to prepare and explain the expectations with the client of how to navigate through all those offers? Yeah.
So for me, I always go back to my fundamental training, right? So when we're marketing homes, we're taught, or we teach, that the list price is a marketing tool, right? The list price will either attract people or it'll repel people, or it will create a pattern somewhere in the middle, right? And so for us, I love doing a buyer consultation. So I teach our agents how to sit with a buyer, find out their needs, their motivation, their ability, help build a good team around them, great lender, great attorney, right? Perhaps title company. And in part of that conversation, we are setting the expectation with the buyer, such as, hey, how would you feel if you had to pay 10% over asking? And watch the client's reaction. If the color drains from their face and they fall off the chair when you say something like that, that's a conversation, right? That's an objection, essentially, right? But it's important to not have that objection after you find their perfect house, because then they're not going to make the decision to do that, right? To offer above asking, and then they're going to lose that house, right? So you want to always educate the client. So again, for me, getting in front of the buyer, or having our agents get in front of the buyer and explaining that ahead of time is so much more productive, and then the buyer doesn't have to lose out on a house that they love. Right. So remember, a list price is just a marketing tool. It's irrelevant to the sale price. Irrelevant.
Yeah, well, it's similar to, in my world, when we pre-approve people, it's important to understand what their budget is. It's not what I can pre-approve them for. Right. Because
they're comfortability, right?
Yeah. It's all about affordability. So yeah, similar scenario there. So let me ask you one other question. So if there was a seller out there thinking that I'm going to put my house on the market, what would your advice be to them? Because there is a ton of brokers out there.
Yeah.
What should they be doing? What steps should they be taking to make sure that they find the right broker?
I mean, I think you need to interview at least 3 or 4 real estate agents. There are a list of questions that you can Google. Here's the thing: don't shop on price, right? Like percentage. What an agent's going to charge. I think it's irrelevant if you find the right agent, because the right agent can charge more but can put a lot more in your pocket. High skill set negotiations. So trust. I think experience. I think you need to. Now, here's the thing: sometimes a new agent can do a great job as well. They have the support of a great brokerage. Team. They have a team. They have mentors that they can lean on. Communication. So negotiations, and communication and trust. That's important.
Well, Jeff, it was an awesome morning. I really appreciate your time. And why don't you just maybe share your
Thank you for the opportunity, John. I do appreciate you as well. So my name is Jeff Mistretta, broker, owner of Exit Realty Achieve in Smithtown. If you're looking for a culture of collaboration, support, and being able to take your business to the next level, please reach out. My number is 631-484-0133, and we really look forward to helping you in your career. Thank you.